Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Heart of LA podcast, a podcast dedicated to discussing topics I find important to acknowledge or simply want to focus on. And I am your dedicated host, Lisa Amon, also known as LA. Did you catch on to that? To start off today's episode, I wanted to read a poem by Pablo Neruda, a Chilean poet and recipient of a Nobel Prize for Literature. This poem is from his collection of love poems, one of his most recognized works, which were written in the island of Capri, about a time shared and experiences with his lover Matilde Urrutia. This piece I will be reading today is called Tu risa, or Your Laughter, and I will be reading the English translation of the poem as it is translated by Donald D. Walsh. Your Laughter. Take bread away from me, if you wish. Take air away, but do not take from me your laughter. Do not take away the rose, the lamb's flower that you pluck, the water that suddenly bursts forth in your joy, the sudden wave of silver born in you. My struggle is harsh, and I come back with eyes tired at times from having seen the unchanging earth. But when your laughter enters, it rises to the sky seeking me, and it opens for me all the doors of life. My love, in the darkest hour your laughter opens, and if suddenly you see my blood staining the stones of the street, laugh, because your laughter will be for my hands like a fresh sword. Next to the sea in the autumn, your laughter must raise its foamy cascade. And in the spring, love, I want your laughter like the flower I was waiting for, the blue flower, the rose of my echoing country. Laugh at the night, at the day, at the moon. Laugh at the twisted streets of the island. Laugh at this clumsy boy who loves you. But when I open my eyes and close them, when my steps go, when my steps return, deny me bread, air, light, spring, but never your laughter, for I would die. In this episode, I wanted to touch on and focus on the literature of love, more specifically the poetry of love. I know many people talk about movies, rom-coms, etc. However, I think it's super important to also touch on a different side of it, which is the writing of love. So we will be focusing on Pablo Neruda's piece, which I just read. This poem touches on lo cotidiano, the love that you find daily in someone and really the world around you. So this poem, like many of its kind, are aimed at anyone and everyone because we all experience love, even if it's in different ways. Additionally, this collection of poems is rooted in Eros love, one of desire and sexual love. However, it was really neat to notice that this specific poem, Your Laughter, has a warmth found within filial love, which is friendship love, and even storge love, which is a familial love. And this encourages and supports the idea that love in a partnership, whether it's directed towards marriage or not, must have a mix and a balance of the different types of love. It cannot be fulfilled solely by one. Finally, much like the Holy Spirit has gifts for us and helps us get closer to God, it is good to acknowledge that we also have gifts that we can give in our friendships or partnerships. Our gifts that we share must create a space of welcoming and growth for that relationship. In the poem, we see Pablo ask Matilde to never stop giving him her laughter because he could die without it. Although laughter is a great gift, it is much deeper than that. When reading the poem in Spanish, the reader is transported to a world of beauty in which light overpowers the darkness. And you note that Pablo doesn't ask Matilde for youth or physical affection, rather, the simple act of laughter to get through it all. In this, I wanted to just touch on how important it is that we take a look at literature in the realm of love and the messages that these pieces can transmit to all of us. Of course, we're in a day and age in which it is much easier and sometimes much more entertaining to watch films or TV shows that portray relationships, marriage, and love. However, I think at the root of it all, it's good to go back to literature, where we can immerse ourselves in a world filled with love and hopefully give that love to those around us.